Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. So in today's video, if you are stumped on what to get the fellow homesteader in your life for Christmas, we're going to try to help you out a little bit here. What we're going to show today is stuff that we actually own and use, and we sat down and wrote down a list of stuff that we really found useful here around the homestead that would make a good Christmas gift. And we want to put this out to you on Black Friday, so maybe you can find a deal. So
yeah, and people are always stumped on what to get us for Christmas, and of course obviously none of this stuff would work because we already have it.
Yeah.
But you know, so we feel like maybe other people are the same way, and by no means are we trying to say, hey, this is what you need to go out here and buy. We've just put together a real quick list of stuff that we recommend that we really find useful, that somebody who doesn't do this every day probably wouldn't even think about.
Right. So we hope to help you out a little bit today, and hope y'all enjoy this video. So the first thing we're going to start off with is, of course, I'm going to show y'all. A lot of people don't realize that I did make a small cookbook a couple years ago. I took my own recipes for about half the book, and then I reached out to a lot of folks in our community here that also donated some recipes for this cookbook. There's a lot of useful recipes in here. The best way to get it right now is through Amazon, but there's desserts, there's a few preserving recipes, there's biscuits, there's palm bread, there's all kind of stuff in there. So a little small, but it is packed full of, I think, some real useful recipes.
Yeah, it's got a lot of simple stuff in it too.
Yeah, it's nothing. I don't like anything less than a cookbook that has 50 million ingredients for each recipe. That's just me. So I made it a point to make sure my cookbook was simple stuff that you can just throw together.
Y'all, okay? I'm trying my best to get her to do another one, and
well, I would love to do another one, but to be honest with you, I mean, if I did another one, I would like it to be through a publisher, and I need to sit down and figure out how to do that. So, because I did publish this one and make this one all on my own. So, but the next thing, Canon mats are coming soon to the Etsy store. I am working on making them. I have not finished making them yet.
But they will be.
They will be there if that's something you would like to give as a Christmas gift, or gift yourself one. So I'll stick a picture in here so you can see what one of the previous ones looked like that I made. Alright, so what do we got next on the list?
Let's see. We'll go with this thing next.
Alright.
That's very wore out.
My poor pitiful book here. So this is the Ball Guide to Preserving. Ball Blue Book Guide to Preserving. This is when it comes to canning or preserving. I mean, it tells you how to freeze stuff. It's
everything.
How to dry stuff. This is my book right here. And y'all, links to all this stuff is going to be down in the description. So,
be in the Amazon store, won't it?
Yeah.
Everything that we show you today
will be in our Amazon store, and also I'm going to leave individual.
For the boots. Yeah. And your canning mats.
But I'm going to leave individual links to everything. All so, right. But this book right here, if someone you know wants to learn to can, like if you've heard a family member mention, you know what, I'd love to learn to can.
This is it.
This is it right here. I mean, tells you how to use a pressure canner, how to water bath. It's the whole 9 yards. And this is the book that I always refer to in all of my videos you see with me canning. And when I tell you times and how to do it, I've learned it from this book right here.
I'm pretty sure you've had that book ever since you started canning.
Yeah.
And look at it. You can tell.
And look at the page. Look at see the pages.
Yeah. I mean, this thing is well used.
It's got some spaghetti sauce splashed on the spaghetti page. You know, it's well used. And there's another book also.
This one doesn't look as used.
But I do use this one. This one is more complicated recipes, okay. I guess I would say. So more of your fancy stuff. So I have not used this one as much. But it's got a ton of good recipes in there. Like, I call like stuff like peach salsa is like fancy to me. And it's got things like that in there. But it's got some really good recipes. This is the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. This is a really good one too. I don't remember if it has step-by-step actually how to use a canner and stuff. I think this one may just be. This one's not as detailed about how to use like a pressure canner and stuff. But somebody that's already established with canning. It has a lot of neat recipes in there. So that's one that I would also recommend.
Next will be this.
This is the Grow Friend Seed Starting Kit. This thing is awesome, and especially for the price. Like
the price is what
gets you. So, with everything that it comes with. But this is the Grow Friend Seed Starting Kit.
Real quick, what all comes with this kit is your heat. Now, we've never used the heat mat because we've only had it this
fall.
Yeah, fall. So we started our fall seedlings in here.
But this will come in real handy come about February.
Yes. You come with a heat mat to lay the tray on.
And that's to get your soil temperature up so your seeds will sprout. It comes, hang on, let me take this thing apart. So you've got your drip tray to catch your water, your little, whatever pods, I guess you'd call them, to put your dirt.
I need to clean that a little bit.
Yeah. And the lid to hold your humidity in with these adjustable things on there.
That's to let air out.
Right.
But you have these grow lights.
This is the really cool part.
Snap right into the top. They'll snap in, you know. And then you've got your controller over here for them. But it's all right here like a self-contained unit.
And like, if you're like us and don't have a ton of space, I mean, we live in a very small house. We don't have room to have these seed trays set up with these giant grow lights, you know. And plus, they get costly too. But this is going to be just perfect.
You know, you got a pile of seed tags that labels it comes with.
They're gnat traps.
What is
that?
This?
That's what that is.
What do they do? Go inside? I guess gnats get trapped in here possibly.
Right. That's like a glue trap for gnats.
So then it came with the, this was a moisture meter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Moisture and pH meter.
And that thing, we if you've seen our video back when we started our fall seeds.
The moisture meter worked.
They really come in handy, yeah.
And then you've got these little tools here to use as well. But all of this comes in one kit.
Yeah, so literally this whole kit, you know, it's an awesome deal, I think, for everything that comes with it.
So what we'll try to do, as of the time of this video is made, we'll list the prices of all the stuff. You want to put it in text down below each segment. Okay.
Yeah, because we can't remember exactly.
And the reason we wanted to get this video out when we do is because Amazon always has some good Black Friday deals. So some of this may be caught on Amazon cheaper than what, you know, it normally costs.
Right.
Is this on Amazon?
Yes.
It is, okay.
So the next thing on the list is this apple peeler. This thing's pretty self-explanatory, but for the homesteader or somebody that wants to do a lot of home preserving, or somebody that just simply likes apples. I mean, this thing right here comes in major handy, and I've had this. You bought this for me for Christmas. We were dating.
Yeah,
this thing's like 15 years old. So Amazon has some different options, and I'll leave you the link to one that's pretty similar to this one, because they have some.
Most of them are about the same.
Yeah, and they have some that actually clip onto your counter, but this one has a suction cup.
The suction cup's nice.
Yeah. So yeah. This is a good gift option. They're priced well, and I'm sure there'll be one on sale at least on Black Friday.
That's one of my favorite tools to use in the kitchen. I can run an apple peeler all day long.
Yeah, so that thing right there, though, when you're making stuff like apple butter or anything like that, this thing comes in some major handy, and it saves a lot of time than just sitting there peeling apples. Saves your hands, too, because it makes my hands cramp, sit there and peel apples or peel potatoes all day.
So next thing we've got on our list here is if you've got the person in your family who likes to work meat and process their own animals maybe or something like that, these Victorinox knives are some of our favorite knives for pretty much everything except for, like I talked about in the deer video, pork. Now they do work for pork. I'm not saying they don't work for pork. They're a good all-around knife, but we'll show you one here in a minute that's more of my preference when it comes to working up fresh pork.
So I'm going to tell you my preference on it. The stiffer blade is easier to sharpen per Andy because he's my knife sharpener. Because
I use a rock, and as I'm sliding that across that rock.
And for the deer meat, I noticed that this one seemed to be working better when we were working the deer meat.
This one has the flexible blade.
Yeah, that's got the black handled one's got the flexible blade.
Like
but now for my chickens, this one right here, when I'm processing chickens, is the bomb diggity.
So you like that one better when you're doing the chickens versus this one?
I don't know why.
Personally, I like a stiffer blade on anything. So I guess that's more of a personal preference.
But these
probably.
things, again, I feel like for the quality of knife it is, they're priced pretty reasonable. So.
But what we're talking about here, these are both the exact same knife. This one has what they call the flexible blade. This one has just your regular blade. So what you get is this flexibility in the blade, which lets you flay stuff and stuff like that a lot easier versus this stiff blade. You can see that one takes a lot more force to move.
Break that darn thing.
I ain't gonna break it. If that breaks it, we don't need to be recommending it. But I personally like the stiffer blade. Megan likes the flexible blade. So
well, for certain things. Depends on what I'm doing.
But I think a good all-around knife is either one of these right here. They will make a really good all-around knife if you're the kind of person that just wants one knife for everything.
Yeah.
I think these are the better option. Now, we do a lot of hogs, and so we like having separate knives for those pigs.
Yeah.
And when it comes to these old hickory knives right here, y'all, you can't beat it. Using these for cutting up meat and using these right here for after we've used the hog scrapers to scrape the hair off, using these to go back and shave what hair is left, that really rigid, stiff blade there, you can't beat it. And
also, when we're working hog meat, it's so greasy that
the wooden
handles are better than those.
Yeah, where these are plastic.
Yeah, because they get really slick.
They get slick. Mm-hmm. This wooden handle,
I mean, it still gets slick, but it ain't like
it's not like that.
It ain't like them, no.
And once you got that wooden handle preserved with a hog fat, it's gonna last you forever.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say about these old hickory is they're actually made out of steel. They're not stainless, and I think that's part of the reason they hold an edge a little bit better. But they will rust, so you can see on that one. But they clean up super easy. That'll just wipe right off. But they do rust, so they've got to be kept clean and dry. But these, I'm pretty sure they're on Amazon too. But if you go into a lot of your local hardware stores, especially an old-timey hardware store, they most likely, at least the ones around here, have these hanging on the shelves.
And if they ain't got them, ask, because they can probably get them.
The stiffer blade also works nice with hog meat too, because you've got that thick skin on a hog, and it's just, you've got that firm knife, and this knife blade just goes through that skin a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So you can get several different styles of the old hickory knife, but these two are our favorite, and we'll have these two listed down below. I don't recall what they call each one of these, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and we'll have those listed. Then next, we'll give it back to you because this is more your stuff, but this ain't everything.
So this is on Amazon. Again, you can buy like a little cannon kit, and that'll be an awesome gift idea for the homesteader or the canner in your family. And what it comes with, I'm trying to remember what all it comes with, but I know it comes with the funnel. It comes with the funnel. That's right. I think the funnel's outside. But it comes with a funnel, a jar funnel. It comes with this little magnet, which I use like all the time to get your lids out of your boiling water. The little magnet really comes in handy. It comes with your jar lifter. It comes with a pair of tongs. And it comes with the little plastic thing. I don't know where mine is now, but it measures the head space, and you stick it down in there and it gets the air bubbles out of your jars. I know it comes with those things. It may come with something else, but that is an awesome gift idea.
Especially for the person who's just starting out canning, because it's about everything you need to can except the pressure canner.
Well, except the canner
and the jars and the lids.
Yep. But everything else, I mean, and they're little tools that you don't have to have, but boy, it makes life a whole lot easier. So.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about canning, we'll go ahead and show these. Now, these are not on Amazon, are they?
They are, but I'll tell you, if you want to help out our channel a little bit and help us out here on the farm, I will put a special link to these.
You can get a discount.
And you get a discount if you use that link and put in our code. You'll get 10% off. So these are the ForJars lids. I know you've heard me talk about these lately. This company, I reached out to them because I tried these last year at Homesteaders of America. We weren't able to go this year, unfortunately, but I did. They gave me a few to try because I told them I canned a whole lot. I loved them. My seal rate on these is almost 100%. And lately with the main competition, not been going quite like that. I've noticed that their lids have gotten thinner in my opinion, and the seal's not quite as good. But these, you can also get them in bulk. So like this one is 100 wide mouth lids, but as you can tell, I've opened it. But hold that up there so they can see that nice seal on that. These have got a nice wide seal. The lids themselves feel thicker. And the stuff that I canned with them over a year ago are still sealed. Actually, these have not rusted. I've had some issues with the other ones rusting pretty bad. And so I highly...
All this deer meat is sitting right here. Look what's on it. Yeah. 4 jars.
Yeah, so I highly recommend these lids. That's what I am using from now on till they give me a reason not to. So.
So I guess the next few items we've got here are going to be more along the lines of what I recommend. And these are things that I actually use all the time. So this one first is something that I bought several years ago off Amazon that I never really thought I would use. I bought it because it was on sale super cheap. And I really didn't think I'd ever use it, but I have to say that this is probably one of the most handy things I've ever had. And what it is, I've got the charging cord wrapped around it. Let me get that off. But it's a, like a phone charger or a power port, I guess you would call it. But this is a solar panel here. It's dusty. It's been sitting on the dashboard of my truck. You've got a flashlight built into it, which now I really never used a flashlight. But you've got your USB ports right there. And 2 other ports. I've never used those, but I'm sure they're for some type of charger. But it's mainly just like a little power station, a mobile power station. As long as you've got a
compass on it too.
It does got a compass, yeah. I use that all the time because, I get lost all the time. Honestly, I've never once used the compass. To be honest with you, I didn't realize it had the compass on the side of it.
I just saw it.
So I believe the new version of these actually has the wireless charger for your phones that do the wireless charging. So I thought that was a little interesting. But this one don't. This one's a few years old. But it stays on the dashboard of my truck, so it's always in the sunlight. And as long as it's in sunlight, it will stay charged. Like right now, it's showing it's about halfway charged. So as long as you keep it in the sunlight, it will maintain the battery that's in this thing, and then you can take it with you to keep your phone charged or any other devices you may be using. And this thing will do it.
And it's lasted, because like you said, you've had
it's
it
a few years old, and it
yeah.
still works just like it did the day I bought it.
Yeah.
All right, next thing. This stays in our side-by-side all the time. And this is one handy tool. So years ago, we used to go to West Virginia riding side-by-sides and foils and stuff. And we came across a trail that had a poplar tree in it about this big.
I remember that.
The
tornado had come through there.
Yeah, it had a really bad storm like the day or two before we were there. And the only saw we had was this folding saw here. And we cut that poplar tree in half with it twice because we had to cut it in one spot and then go up here and cut it again so we could move it out of the way. This thing, y'all, is the bee's knees when it comes to cutting something. Like, you take a limb that big and about 4 or 5 passes, you're through it. And it takes no effort at all. It is so sharp. But this is the Corona folding saw. Next are the Corona hand pruners. This is my old pair that I've probably had this pair 15 years or more. You can tell they've been used. And they're, they lock. I like these so good that this year when we were thinking about this list and I was going through looking at Amazon and stuff, I was like, I'm going to buy me another pair because I like this pair so good. I was like, I'm going to just upgrade and get me a new pair. So there's my new pair. Have not used these at all yet, but these are the Corona BP 6250s. And they're sort of like a copy of the Felco pruners, which is probably the absolute best pruner on the market. But they come with a price tag, those Felcos do. In my opinion, I've used them both. This pruner right here is just as good as the Felcos. You have the replaceable blade. You can replace that blade if it ever wears out. It is sharpenable.
Now, have you ever replaced your blade?
I've never had to replace my blade on these old ones. And then you've got an adjuster right there. It locks so that once they start wearing and they get loose, you can keep them tightened up. In my opinion, for the money, these are the best pruners there is on the market. Now, the best pruner is a Felco number 2. But like I said, these are a copy of the Felco number 2 under the Corona name. And just for the price of them, they are by far the best ones you can buy, in my opinion.
Are they good for like pruning apple trees?
Apple trees.
Yeah.
I've pruned stuff that big with them. You're not supposed to, but I have.
If y'all hadn't noticed, Andy likes to push stuff to the limits.
Anything that'll fit in that jaw, I've cut stuff that big with it before. But really, if you get into bigger stuff like that, you need this. So, you know, for anybody who has a ton of fruit trees or has, really just using them in the garden. I mean, I have used them pruning tomatoes. Most of the time you can just break a tomato sucker out, but I have used those to prune the tomatoes. But they're just a really good all-around pruner. All right, and last on my list is the stuff that I carry every single day in my pocket. And I cannot stress to y'all enough how many times these 3 tools have got me out of a bind and kept me from having to walk to the truck. So first and foremost is my Swiss Army knife. I have carried a Swiss Army knife since I was probably Jacob's age. My grandpa gave me one, and I've still got it. And I carried it, and then I got another one. I wore the main blade out on it, sharpened it so much, and I bought this one just a couple years ago. This particular one here has the screwdriver blade. You've got your can opener and a small screwdriver there. You've got your small knife blade. You've got your big knife blade. You've got the saw. Now that saw was pretty handy. Y'all actually probably seen me in a video the other day when we were cutting wood. I was cutting the little limbs off of the wood pieces that I forgot with the chainsaw. I was cutting them off with this saw blade. And then the scissors. And then you've got your corkscrew on the back. And a hook, which I've never honestly completely figured out what that hook's for. But it's been on every Swiss Army knife I've had. And then that's a hole punch for leather. And I've actually used that thing quite a bit too when I'm making adjustments to my belt. And then you've got tweezers. And there's supposed to be a toothpick in there, but I lost mine. But this thing, I have toted a Swiss Army knife, like I said, for many years. And I will not tote no other type of pocket knife. Because I probably use the screwdriver more than I actually use the knife blade. Next is this little bitty Crescent adjustable wrench. And it may look like a little toy, but this little thing has turned many bolts. I've actually put together many things that come, you know, that have to be assembled. I've used this and these together. But that little thing right there, along with these Nip-X pliers. These are the smallest pliers Nip-X makes, and I strongly stand behind Nip-X as well. They are by far the best plier company ever built. I mean, they make, their pliers are just hands down the best. If you've never owned a pair of Nip-X pliers, you should get you a pair. You're going to have to pay for them. They're not cheap, but they are worth it. I didn't believe it till I bought my own pair.
Oh, is that those big pliers we have?
Those big ones.
They're so good.
That I started out with, the big ones. I actually should have brought those in here. Maybe we'll put those in the description too.
Okay.
But
yeah, because those I don't even know nothing about pliers, and I could tell them were good ones.
They are good ones. I've got a metal table out here that right after I bought the pliers, I went out there and, I mean, you know, they're just your average, I think, 8-inch pliers. And I gripped onto that metal table and was actually able to twist the leg on that metal table. And it's made out of some thin sort of cheap metal, but still, I couldn't do that with a regular pair of channel locks. They grip so good. So I like those so good, I bought me a set of the little ones, and I tote them in my pocket every day. And these things right here, for the size, it is amazing what you can grip with them. So you take those three right there as one big combo unit, and you can literally fix most things without having to walk to the truck, to the toolbox or something, or back to your garage to get a, you know, the specific tool you need. And I will say this real quick, because somebody may ask, other than carrying a Leatherman, which would have all three of these tools on it, you would have your pliers, I guess your adjustable wrench would, I think actually some Leatherman tools have adjustable wrenches, and then you have your knives. A Leatherman is alright. Leathermans are expensive though, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the pliers that fold up and, you know, people tote them on their side and stuff. But in my opinion, it's kind of like most things. Leathermen are okay at every little job they do, but they're not the best. You take a pair of pliers to do what a pair of pliers job does. You take a wrench to do what a wrench's job does, and you take a knife to do what a knife job does. Does that make sense? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
I think so.
A Leatherman is like a good multi-purpose tool, but I really like having the versatility of this in my pocket at all times. And then next.
So next, I don't know if you can see above my head here, and you've probably seen in the videos, I have these hanging baskets that actually we found on Amazon because I needed a way to hang up and have my garlic like handy and something that would let air move through. And we found these on there, and they've really come in handy. And I know you can only see one basket in this video, but it's actually 3 baskets, 3 hanging baskets. And now I've got 4 of them actually hanging in my kitchen, and I'll try to insert a picture of that so y'all can see what I'm talking about. But I keep my eggs in them, fruits, breads. Like I said, I mainly buy them for the garlic, but they are really neat and they're cheap, and they
serve the purpose well.
They do.
I don't know if that's what they're for, but they work good for that.
Yeah. And so last but not least, y'all have heard us talk about the high Sia boots. Don't put them nasty boots on my table.
Well, there they are. They're on your table now.
Now, I've got some good use out of these right here. These are those high Sia boots. The company had reached out to me about a year ago and wanted to send me some boots for me to try. I have wore the fire out of these boots. They're insulated, but they're not so hot I can't stand to wear them, as the competition is too hot for me. But really, really like these, and actually they've agreed to give my watchers 15% off of your purchase. So look in the description for that discount code. But you can see the only wear and tear these really have is this little part right here is starting to come loose a little bit. But other than that, I mean, they've really held up well. The soles are staying in them good. These are mine. They also here recently sent the kids some boots to try. We just got to get them to send Andy some boots now. But no, they recently sent the kids some boots to try. So these are Maggie's. They're more the Western style boots. Super cute, very, very soft. They're not hard leather. And I wish I could show you, but I don't think I can fold them down enough for you to see the inside of them. I don't know if y'all can see in there, but they're also kind of insulated. It's not, her foot's not right up against leather. It's actually really soft material in there to help keep her feet warm in the winter time. So anybody that's wore cowboy boots for any amount of time, you know they do not keep your feet warm. As somebody, well, yours do. As somebody that used to be dead set on wearing cowboy boots everywhere, your toes get cold. But those have that insulation in them, so that's really nice. And then these are Jacob's. They're the neoprene waterproof boots. They're also insulated. And he really has enjoyed them, and he said they're super comfortable, and they fit him well. So really love the high Sia boots.
Are they sized?
Yeah, they're sized.
Normal?
I mean, yeah, their sizes were absolutely normal.
Okay.
And they do have a lifetime guarantee. So the company's been real good to keep in touch with me, wanting to know, you know, how the boots are doing and everything. And so I feel like their customer service would be great if you had issues with the boots. But yeah, 15% off. So y'all check that out.
Well, I'm running out to the side by side real quick. There's the large pair of Nip-X pliers, and these are the cat's meow, as people say. But
is that all? I think that's all we have on our
I
list.
could probably think of 20 other things to put on this list, but I think this is a good start.
Yeah. So
this is just something we put together real quick.
Yeah, we just really wanted to help y'all out, like, because I know that I get stumped at Christmas, and like, there's no feeling like not knowing what to get somebody. We wanted to offer y'all these ideas, and hope we helped you out a little bit on what people can use that kind of live this kind of lifestyle. So
now, if you go and buy this stuff and then they don't like it, I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry.
We like it.
but seriously, y'all, even if somebody bought any of this stuff and we've already got it, if somebody bought it for me again, I would still be tickled to death with it.
I wouldn't complain.
I'm not going to complain at all. because it's all stuff that we use, and really stuff that we use as much as we use this stuff. Having multiple of it is not
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. So,
and I tell y'all, I mean, it's like speaking of the can,
you can't have enough cannon lids.
Can't have enough cannon lids. Yeah. That's right. So, I mean, I would not complain at all if somebody got me some cannon lids.
I mean, you as far as that goes, I don't feel like you can have enough pairs of pliers because I got them like in every single vehicle I got and tractors and.
Well, hey, don't everybody have as many vehicles you do?
I know, and in the building and. You can't have enough knives if you work up a lot of meat. True. You can't have enough knives.
That's true. So, but anyways, guys, we really hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think in the comments. We hope y'all all had a blessed Thanksgiving, enjoyed time with your family.
And once again, we're not trying to come out and say, hey, buy this stuff. But we just want to give some recommendations.
Yep, give some ideas to somebody it might be hard to buy for. Because people tell us all the time we're hard to buy for.
They do, all the time.
I feel like I ain't either.
I feel like I'm so easy to buy for. I feel like I'm so easy to read what I like.
You're actually not, though.
I know, everybody tells me that. But I could think of 10 things right off my head. The main important thing to remember during Christmas is just be thankful you still got everybody around that you've got.
Yep. And
obviously it doesn't revolve around gifts or whatever. But
that's right.
So anyways,
we hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank y'all for watching.